Shivoham. Okay, let us pick up next sutra. Vishoka jotishmathi. Very simple sutra. Vishoka means Vishoka, the state of mind or chittam, which is free of all sorrows. Vishoka. Va and jotishmathi, which is effulgence of light. Light means all positives. Light literally does not mean light, but yes, light. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Are we really in darkness? Sun is shining upon us. Artificial lights are there. Lamps are there. Lanterns are there. Everything is there. We are not in darkness. But why? Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Light. Light refers to that elevated state of consciousness. That is light. Prakash. Jyoti. It is not said Prakash. It has been said jotishmathi. Jyoti is the source of light. Jotishmathi. Which means here Patanjali is describing something which is higher. It is not ordinary. Because earlier sutras have clearly defined how mind is contained in a region, particular region, on a particular subject, how mind is captivated, imprisoned, bound, attached, focused onto a particular region, particular feeling, particular object, or you can say subject. Here, there are no objects. Here is subject itself. Because jotishmathi, who is the source of all the light, the self, at least the shaktis which we carry with ourselves. It's not about emotions. It's not pravrittir utpanna. It's something toward the source of it all, who makes it possible to experience. So jotishmathi has to be experienced. Jotishmathi, the mind has to become the experience of the experiencer. And which kind of mind will do so? Previous sutra has already explained. Method was first given in sutra which referred to as Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tan Nirodha. That was one method. Then another method was given there, Ishwar Pranidhanadva. Then another was given where it was said Tajjapa Tadartha Bhavanam. Further explanation came how to do Ishwar Pranidhan. Then another thing was given Ekatattva Abhyasa. Then it was so many Abhyasa are given, but they are all oriented towards something else than the perceiver. Something else than the person himself. Although the samadhis have been defined in the sutras like Vitark, Vichar, etc., Asmita, Anand, all that. But the methods which were given were either a subject outside, thought construct, any object, a thought construct, and now further Sthiti Nibandhani, further added by your bhavas, your attitudes. Everything is yours. It is not you so far. Vairagya is also your vairagya. Abhyasa is also your abhyasa. So this is very high practice, which is viśokā jotishmathi. Okay. Almost three-fourths sutras have been covered of Samadhi path. Now, first time a very high practice, the highest practice probably has been given here. Vishoka jotishmathi. How to do that? First state to be created, Vishoka. There should be no sorrow. Which means what? Now the person has been able to work on himself or herself by working on the vrittis from klishta to aklishta completely. All the vrittis have become aklishta. Such a person can only be Vishoka. Such person's chittam will be Vishoka. The state will be Vishoka. Vigata shoka means shoka is a gone by thing. No more shoka. It was there, agreed, but now it is not there. This is the state. How you have arrived up? Of course, by all the methods which we talked about. Pranava japa, we talked about abhyasa of vairagya, we said maitri, karuna, upeksha, mudita, we said focus on right kind of emotions, everything. Now you have to come in that state where you don't have any problem in life. All problems exist, but you don't have any impact. You are not impacted by them. Only such a mind, only such a chittam will be able to do so. As far as this particular method is concerned, for sure it has to be understood that ordinarily no sadhak will ever say that I am completely free of sorrow all the time. So at least during the time of your practice, you should not have shoka. As one thing. Also, if you go to vrittis, you would say that sadhaka would not sleep, you mean? Because nidra is also a vritti defined there. Pramana viparya vikalpa nidra smritya. So nidra is also a vritti, and chitta vritti nirodha means nidra should not also not be there. So this needs to be understood clearly that during sadhana, साधन काल के दौरान सोना नहीं है और दिस सूत्र से रोना भी नहीं है. कुछ हो नहीं रहा, इतने दिन से बैठे हैं, माला लेके जप रहे हैं, बहुत वैराग्य कर रहे हैं, हर हफ्ते 3-3, 4-4 बार प्रवचन भी अटेंड कर रहे हैं, नथिंग इज हैपनिंग. रोना भी नहीं. मेथड हैज टू बी अंडरस्टूड. Live happily for no reasons. Only such a person is qualified. Crybabies do not qualify. And secondly, you should understand, all the situations of life will never come to that state where you'll say, no, I don't have any problem, so I am happy now. So you have to learn methods for keeping yourself joyous despite all mayhem being there. This you have to learn. Otherwise, sadhana cannot be done. Vishoka jotishmathi. Now, our attention has to be drawn towards the experiencer. Where exactly? Because method has not been given here. We always say that this book, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, is for the teachers, not for the disciples, not for the students. So therefore, teacher would tell what is the method, where I need to find the experiencer. So basically, various teachers have interpreted it, but the original commentary, the earliest commentary, which is by Vyasa, he has defined, he has decoded this sutra in his own way. And he says that this sutra will become complete when we understand this in conjunction with the explanation given for the previous sutra. So, first you have to, and in previous sutra, which was about Pravrittirutpanna Sthiti Nibanjani, there he has added something. He has said that you have to focus all these pravrittis, all these good emotions need to be experienced, positive emotions, transmuted emotions, whatever is the case, have to be experienced at the heart, at your own heart. Having captured your chittam at heart, that is the outcome of the previous sutra. And that addition has been done by Vedavyas. Patanjali has not defined it. He has left it for interpretation of the wise ones. He is the wisest though, but he did not. Wise people speak less, so he hasn't spoken about it. So, second grade wise people start interpreting it. So they did. Vedavyas did. Vedavyas commented on it, and he says, yes, this is the way. You have to experience, you have to capture your heart, you have to imprison your mind within the heart region by whatever good sthiti you have created, good state you have created. This is the beginning in this particular discipline of yoga. This is how it has been said. So, first, you know that in our system of Tantra, we have always defined that Jiva, that the experiencer, where does he live? So, in waking, he lives in eyes, in the eyes. Jiva, the experiencer, lives in the eyes. Eyes means upper part, operates from the head region, you can say. So Jiva in waking experiences itself in the region of head, to be around that area. Eyes, ears, etc. Now, in dreams, Jiva is operating in the throat region. And in deep sleep, Jiva operates in heart. Okay? Jiva settles in heart. So, what is the normal trajectory of our consciousness when we are in wakefulness? How do we proceed towards sleep? By passing through the dream state. That means when you start internalizing your attention, when you invert your attention towards the self, the first thing is your attention would come here. People find it that way only. Don't you do that? When you start meditating, what is the general most of? I mean, if ask even a small child, I'll tell you, even a small child, if you ask, with your dhyan lagao, so what he'll do? He'll close his eyes and start focusing as something is happening here. Even a small child will do that. Dhyan lagao. Pay attention. So, our tendency is to get to this practice of mid-brow meditation, what we call it. This is something. But let me tell you, this practice is not yielding too much. It will not take you anywhere, because in this way, you will probably continue to operate in the waking only. You will never drift towards deeper states of consciousness. So originally, no teacher has actually given this meditation, that you have to start with eyebrow, mid-brow or Ajna Chakra meditation. But it is quite engaging. Why? Because it is experienced while you are awake. And it keeps you awake also, by the way. Unless until you are too tired, high tamas, etc. Otherwise, focusing between the eyebrows, or the eyebrows is just an indication that meditating from the head will keep you awake. Lot many things will happen. Light will happen. And I'll tell you, in Kriya Yoga, they will ask to do it. And this is a method of Paramahansa Yoga, Kriya Yoga. They will ask you to do it. And they will say immediately, the first day, the first timers will come and say, I started violet color. And they'll start explaining. You see, you started seeing colors, no? This is what is called meditation. With closed eyes, after a while, if you continue to look there, colors will start appearing. It's not a big deal. It will happen. And when they will happen, they'll say, you see, and then they will explain. The Paramatma, the God, appears in the form of light. You saw the light now? So see, Paramatma has started conversing with you. That's the method. Initial, beginner's luck has to be proved that yes, you did meditation for the first time, you are seeing some light, some sparks. So Paramatma is light. And the philosophy also says so. The God is light. And as you see light here, you say, हो गया, बढ़िया है. अभी शुरू हो गया. Paramatma has started giving glimpses. So that's not the method here. Then next method, which is a little advanced though, but it can be used. Every method, let me tell you, every method. Don't use any method. Whatever is being described, only FYI. Not for your practice, no. Only information. You don't try. Because those things which you try, you spoil it. As I explained. If you try it by yourself, you don't know how to do it, you spoil the method forever. So don't try. Just for information, I'm telling. Another method is focus on, you see, Bindu Chakra, which is also in the same region. Above soft palate, deep in our head. That is center of our head. Means it is not eyebrow between the eyebrows. It is just in the center of our head. Means below almost where this skull begins, you see, at the level of eyebrows. Go back, consider your skull to be a circular thing, and in the center, you meditate. There's no chance of seeing light in the beginning. You will not. But it's a more effective way, which has been utilized by certain traditions. Okay. The meditation on throat area has not been utilized by anybody. Why? Because it takes you to a state of consciousness where vikalpa vritti take overs. By Shiva Sutra definition, swapno vikalpa. So, which means thoughts, multiple thoughts, options after options. So many things will start happening if you focus on the throat chakra. Throat chakra meditation is not done by ordinary people. Should not be done at all. So the next possible station is heart, which is really the beginner's point. Here from you begin. Even the uninitiated ones can do it in somewhat focus at heart. Just become aware of your heart. That's it. The exact method cannot be given. However, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, stay aware of your heart. That's it. So not that I'm not asking you to do it, but I'm telling that most of people are given this meditation that focus on your heart. But you see here, it is natural for you to drift into sleep here. So those who have problems sleeping, they can try it at the night also. Focus on the heart because it will drift you to sleep. This is the center where Jiva operates in deep sleep. However, the challenge with the sadhaka is to stay awake. Understand? To remain awake while he is focused at heart. Not become numb. Not become what you call mood. Spandakarikas, those who are attending, they know that most of people become mood. Muda means they are taken over by tamas or nidra, deep sleep. So in this type of absorption, the common problem is that people do report that they were absorbed into the meditation, but in that meditation, they are not aware of anything and they think it is samadhi. For that matter, they are not aware of themselves also. They are in a kind of deep sleep. So everything has a problem unless until right kind of preparation is done. Even heart chakra meditation or heart meditation is also not going to yield anything. You can't know the nature of the self, you can't know the nature of reality, you'll never be able to experience something which is pragmatic because there are no preparations. And maybe even that meditation, you experience something and are unable to appreciate it because you don't know that this is what you should look for. In the open sky, you go out at night, so many constellations visible. Suppose you don't know what is what, then you'll not be able to track, trace, and identify that particular constellation. Maybe that constellation solves your problem when it is in the sky, suppose, but you don't know what it looks like. Suppose somebody said that at midnight you have to just focus on a particular constellation. Go out in the open at night time and just gaze at that particular constellation for 10 minutes. I said, I understood, I will do it. And you don't know what this constellation will look like. So even though you are looking at this whole sky, which is available for experience, and the constellation also is there, but you're not able to appreciate it. You're not able to capture it. You're not able to connect to it. So when people do meditation or get into this kind of practice of heart meditation, because they have not been given the experience of what it is like, understand? They are in that, say, ignorance, where even if the experience comes as a transit phase, it will go away and they will not be able to hold on to it. That's the problem. Our consciousness drifts towards the deep sleep, which is natural. And if you remember, in Spandakarikas we discussed, I am discussing Yoga Sutras, but Spandakarikas, our tradition, what do they say? Such a yogi who's a Prabuddha yogi, he experiences self between two states of consciousness. Was it told or not? So that means when dreaming ends, sleeping begins between that. Now, the point is, when you started focusing on heart, intentionally so, if a method has been given, your consciousness will start drifting towards sleep. From the waking to sleep. This is natural progression of consciousness. This is natural trajectory. And you have to stay aware where that point comes between the dreaming and deep. During the meditation that can happen, you can't try it while going to sleep. Please let me clarify. It is very difficult. So don't try. Even this meditation, you have to learn first the right method, how to do it. Then only this will work. So just like that, I am telling you, just for your information, I am telling that the methods are there, but understanding, appreciating that particular state of consciousness, capturing that moment and holding on to is very much essential to be able to experience the truth that you are. Jotishmathi, to become jotishmathi. However, during the whole process, Vishoka is the condition. No worry should come. During whole process. Whether you're experiencing it, whether you're not experiencing it, whether it has been 2 hours you have been meditating, maybe you keep time, maybe you put alarms, maybe सारा टाइम निकल गया फिर भी नहीं हुआ, then 5 मिनट हो गया. People think like that. काफी देर से बैठे कुछ हो नहीं रहा, nothing is happening. चिंता हो गई. This चिंता is शोक. No चिंता, no शोक. Only determination and sankalpa. That too we discussed in Spanda Karika. We said the person has to sit and just stay in this resolve that till the time I don't receive that experience, I will not get up from meditation. Secondly, I will not sleep. That is also important. But after 1.5 hours, or forget about 1.5 hours. In half an hour, you'll go to sleep. So a lot of practice, lot of lightness at the level of body, at the level of energies, at the level of your attachments, a lot needs to be done. All that has already been discussed in here. You see? So much has already been discussed. You should not have an animosity for anybody, and for self also, by the way. You should not have any grudges with anybody, of course, with self also. This self is very important. You can't say everybody does not include me. Everybody means me also. Treat everybody with love and respect. Self also. Forgive everybody. Self also. This way. So, that way. Karuna, Maitri, Mudita, Upeksha. So, Upeksha has to be done for self also. You did some mistake. There are some negative things about you, which are not. Ignore. Complete ignore. Come back to normalcy. So everything has to be done this way. And people completely forget this, that every practice, when everybody has to be treated this way, everybody needs to be tackled with mudita, karuna, upeksha. So when you're doing good things, when you're meditating, when you're taking out time, you should be mudita. You should have mudita about it. So you should be joyous. You should be happy that yes, kam se kam main baith to raha hu. At least I'm sitting for it. At least I'm spending time in this. You should be joyous enough. And this itself will be able to create that state of Vishoka. You see, when you do good, when you are engaged in punya, punya, this is punya only. So when you are engaged in punya karma, like sitting and meditating, sitting and not engaging with the world, this is the best punya karma you can do. I can tell you, the best punya karma is not to engage with the world. The second great punya karma is that you engage with the world with a benevolent mindset. That's the second level. First level is don't engage with anybody. Don't offer your solutions, don't offer your help, don't do anything. You're doing best punya karma this is. However, you will not be satisfied with it. Karma mala. You see? This is not complete, this is to be done. Something good has to be done by me. Done. Something needs to be done. So people get into doing more. So next best is interact with the world in a benevolent attitude. Punya karma. So here, if that much you can't do, from my personal experience, I'm telling you, keep your mouth shut. That's the most problematic area. We feel as if we are not doing anything. But let me tell you, we do the most with our words. Is it not? If you want to stay in punya, as long as you are silent, you are doing punya. Because as you start speaking, who knows, papa will come. Somebody will get hurt. Somebody will have problems. Somebody will not be able to digest your words. Somebody will. So by words only you create more karma. See, there are three ways to do karma. I can tell you the maximum karma we do using vacha, vachik karma. Three karmas: vachik, manasik, and sharirik. Three karmas are defined in shastras. हम जैसे आलसी लोग शारीरिक कर्म तो करेंगे नहीं, है ना? कि किसी ने किसी का गड़बड़ कर दिया तो निकल पड़े जी गदा लेके धनुष लेके कि इसको मारेंगे, कौन करता है? जुबान चलाएंगे। तो शारीरिक तो कोई करता नहीं, नो बडी। लेजी लोग हैं हम लोग, वी आर नॉट inclined towards that. But ये laziness is compensated at the level of speech. So we will air our opinion. So reduce this punya karma as much as possible. I can't help it. मुझे काम ही ऐसा मिला है. So I keep on speaking. But you can do it. Wherever not needed, don't speak. If you apply this, you'll become punyatma. And I can tell you, you'll be perceived also like punyatma. So the moment you open your chanchu, chonch, problem, punya karma ceases to exist. Papa karma starts. At least the domain of papa karma is there. I'm not saying that you'll always do papa karma using your vani, but vani will have the ground where papa can also be part of it. Your action. To choose your words carefully. We came to this. Why we came here discussing all that? Because the preparations are to be done. Our engagements are to be reduced. Our emotional state need to be really correct, accurately poised. Around what? Around happiness. Please understand. I'm not saying Patanjali himself has given this. The clue is very, very straightforward. Convert klishta to aklishta. That's it. Simple words, be happy. Yoga has begun long back. When Patanjali said, Vrittya panchatayya klishta. Convert them to aklishta. Yoga has begun. From there, yoga begins. And you see, there he said aklishta. Now again he is re-emphasizing. भाई यही करना था तो वहीं से आखिरी सूत्र देता विशोका व jyotiśmatī. It doesn't work like that. You need to do so many things to come to that state of joy. Unimpacted, unsullied by whatever situations you are in. This is important. And in such a mind, in such a chittam, other practices can happen. In such a mind, the undistorted self can be perceived. Or else, when you are in pain, when you are suffering, when you are jealous, when you are lustful, when you are not all right, agitated, so many things, so many cluster emotions, cluster states, they distort your mind, image, buddhi, everything. Everything gets distorted. Is it not? In your bad emotions, in state when you're suffering from that bad emotional state, Don't you perceive little things to be more irritating, as if the sky has fallen upon you? Simple thing. So simple things become too big. And such engagement, such eruptions, again, take away the bhumika of that chittam, which is congenial for, suitable for practice to happen, for dharana, dhyan, samadhi to happen, for pratyahar to happen. You're concerned with the world. How can you do pratyahar? So here, let us understand. Vishoka state is what you work with. Then only jotishmathi, the perceiver, can actually appear. And who is that perceiver? Who is that jyoti? The jyoti is behind this objective personality which you are. Nobody is the person who he or she thinks he is or she is. You think you are certain personality based on your body, based on your education, ethnicity, culture, sanskara, financial status, social status, your relationships. And I can tell you, none of these can sit for meditation. If a husband sits for meditation, he can only meditate on wife. If a teacher sits for meditation, his only meditation is either teaching study material or students. So, which simply means that to be able to sit for meditation, you must be free from those roles. Right. Now, how and when that those roles can be dropped? Can you think a worried father drop being a father? He cannot. Can a worried husband, worried wife, worried neighbor? Only when that particular role is content and joyous, that aspect of yours is content and joyous, then only that can be dropped. So whatever area you are feeling little bit of irritation, little bit of concern, even this little bit of concern will not let you be the asadhak. Your sadhak is none of these. What is sadhaka? Sadhak is uncontaminated, unsullied, consistent, enthusiastic effort. Prayatna sadhaka. Only that effort is sadhak. Nothing. You are not sadhak. So forget about you being you, whatever you consider yourself to be. The sadhak is that effort. And only that effort has to be there. You have to come out of the scenario. You are not needed. Because you are not needed? Yes, you are not needed. Whatever you know yourself as is not needed. Whatever. Even that, if you know yourself as an individual, that individual is also not needed. That means your whole absorption has to be in the efforts. The efforts is the state of that trying, that aspirational state where you are just groping for something. That state when you are just, open to receive anything. That prayatna is sadhana. Clear? So, I'm conjoining both Shiva Sutras and Skarikas with Yoga Sutra, and I'm sure only for better understanding of yours. So here, jotishmathi, who is the experiencer? Experiencer can be born only when unsullied, uncontaminated effort is being made. It will not be able to happen unless you have come out of all the roles that you think you are. all your identifications in the external world. And a person who is still worried about any of the actions which are supposed to be taken in either of the roles can never drop them. Therefore, a person has to achieve happiness in every aspect of his life. First of all, the aspects should be reduced. वो तो हम कुछ नहीं कह नहीं सकते, बिकॉज द मोमेंट आई से ये करना बंद कर दो तो प्रॉब्लम है. मैं आचार्य जी, फिर इफ आई स्टॉप डूइंग इट, डोंट आस्क फॉर एनी फीस व्हेन वी कम फॉर रिट्रीट, है ना. सो वी विल कंटिन्यू डूइंग व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. तो करो भाई जो करते, वट एवर यू आर डूइंग, डू. Reduce the number of engagements, which means reduce the number of roles for yourself. Number one. If at all that is very, it has become unavoidable, then continue with the role, but at least be happy in that role. Never feel dissatisfied in any role. Always be happy. At the end of the day, you should be able to experience this contentment that I am successful, happy, doing what I chose to do. If you can achieve it at the time of going to bed, of course, it will not be possible unless by noon also you were doing so. By afternoon also you were doing so. In the morning you were also doing so. Otherwise at night you can't say so. So means wherever you are, whatever you are doing, till that time, satisfaction, joy. Then only at 7:30 p.m. I sit for meditation. Okay. So by 7:30 p.m., if there is anything which is unresolved, it will come in the way. Not only of the day, anything of your life which has not been resolved by 7:30 of that day. Not only of that day, anything of your life which has not been resolved by the 7:30 p.m. of that day, that auspicious moment when your meditation is to commence. How is that possible? Each day, every moment, you have to cultivate this. And whatever were unresolved, unsettled, completely drop them. Done. You have to. Kritakrityata has to come. Kritakrityata, which means whatever was supposed to be done, I have done. That's it. Your kritakrityata does not mean elation of everybody around. You see, you have to understand this. Those who are doing sutras, they did. Then after that, we are doing vidya. Doing all that now. What did we say there? भैया दुनिया की खुशी के चक्कर में मत पड़ो, तुम अपने कर्म से खुश रहो बस. तुमने किया इसका satisfaction रखो, be happy. And give your 100%. That does not mean become lenient in it. You have to give your 100%. At least you should know in your hearts of heart that I have done and I'm okay with it. I'm happy. But the problem is, most of people will say, अरे भाई मैं तो करते हैं लोग खुश नहीं होंगे. भैया लोग तो कभी नहीं खुश होने वाले. इस चक्कर में पड़ गए ना, कभी तुम्हारा मेडिटेशन नहीं हो पाएगा. You can never meditate. See, basic rules have to be clear. You can't make the world happy. You can only make yourself happy by giving your 100%. Clear, no? You want to make the world happy still? Ashakya Anushthan. It never gets done. It is never done. So don't try. इसकी छोड़ दो. ये ड्रॉप करना ही पड़ता है. You must drop this attitude of making people happy. As much as is possible, you do and be happy. अच्छा, It's a very difficult thing. Everybody said, दूसरों की सेवा करो. देखो शब्दों को सुनो. Serve others. Was it written that serve others till they become happy? Serve others till they become happy. Wise men have not given this advice. You have taken it in your own way that serve others till they become happy. होना नहीं. So wise men have never said, भाई दान करो जब तक others person greed or need is satisfied. No. Has the condition been written there? No. दान करो. Donate. Was it written? Donate to remove poverty from the world. Not written. Wise men should have thought about it. And everybody should donate till the poverty is removed. It will never get removed, let me tell you, because poverty is a relative term. When all will be billionaires, a millionaire will be a poor man. So don't think this way. Never ever think. Don't exceed the brief. Clear-cut rules are there. Serve others, not for their happiness, for your happiness. Donate for your happiness. Resolve things for your happiness. This is what Vishoka, so much so is to be done, but you can definitely make yourself happy. This is what it is, Vishoka. I don't think much can be said. If whatever is remaining about jotishmathi, we can talk about it later. For today, I think you should focus on Vishoka. So next week when we meet, at least by then, you would have resolved that I am happy now. Are you happy? Anybody think? How are you? I'm happy. Anytime. Even after you made incurred losses in your trading. How are you? I'm happy. Right? I'm happy. There is no other way to be happy. Is the only way. Vishoka. Jotishmathi. Far, far, far away. Must be happy. Okay? Work on it. And then any sadhana. We are discussing Patanjali Yoga Sutras only for enriching our knowledge, deepening our understanding. We are not going to follow the yogic principles, yogic philosophy, all that, right? You know that for sure. So what are we getting from here? Certain rules, better understanding of mind is what you're getting. And you should utilize it. You see? Things which have not been taught there, they're being taught here. And the Karika said, Prashtova, etc. So at least be happy. इतना खुश तो हो कभी कि किम करोमी या वामर्शन ऐसा कभी लगे तो कि हम इतना खुश हो गए क्या करें what to do in that moment of sheer joy that tattva can be investigated. Was it told or not? At least when you remain happy, someday you'll be so happy just by the thought of getting into meditation that maybe that happens. You understand? Only in happy states God is found. Remember this. Only in happy states the self is found. God is far off thing. Alright? Chalo. Let's close it here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shiva.